Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to Tech Talk Live. Really excited for today's guest. My name is Bo, I'm your host. Troy's taking the day off and we got RIDGID on board. So I am going to find our buddies from RIDGID, and there they are. Here we bringing them on. Hey there.
What's happening, Bo? How are you?
I'm well. How are you, Mitch?
I'm doing really good. It's good to see you. You're like the star.
Likewise.
More followers than Joe Rogan, I think.
Well, we're working on it. We're working on it. Maybe not that much yet, but we'll get there. So as long as I have his physique, I'm good.
There you go.
So can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I can hear you pretty good. It's a little
good.
Light. How about on the other?
Yeah, we're good. You sound a little far away, but we got you.
Okay, awesome.
Awesome. Well, RIDGID Tools in the house. This is pretty exciting. You know, we've had a long partnership. So Mitch Barton from RIDGID Tools and the Ridge Tool Company. Very excited to have you. Of course, I'm Bo with Viega LLC. This is Tech Talk Live, and we're going to be talking tools today, which, you know, everybody loves tools, right? Christmas is coming.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, you know, it's really cool. I just got my very first Christmas present for the year, and I'm just going to show it to everybody right now. And I'm pretty sure that this might have come from you.
I did send you a pretty nice present.
That's a pretty nice present. I mean, this thing, is this a compact tool? This is so light, and I want to clip it on my belt here, you know, in a holster. I'm going to make a Kydex holster for this. This is awesome. I love it.
You know, if you compare the two of them, there's not a whole lot of difference here between the 240 and the new 350.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I'm going to break out a vintage tool here in a little while when you're talking, and I'll show it to everybody, and we'll have a discussion about that thing too. So very cool.
Good thing you've been working out if you're bringing that out.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, of course, we break out the booster or the actuator, you know, they get kind of heavy too. So, but yeah, no, very cool stuff. This is exciting, and we'll get into this. So really excited to have everybody on today. So many people joining, very cool stuff. So, you know, Mitch, I've had a long history with RIDGID. I started in the trades in 1983. I was 13 years old. I was working in the summers, and I hand threaded a lot of pipe with RIDGID hand threaders because I was a wrestler, and my dad felt that, you know, I should thread anything 1.25 inches and down by hand. And so that's how I learned to fit pipe. And I spent a lot of summers in the hot New Jersey sun threading on a RIDGID tri-stand with RIDGID hand threaders and, you know, cranking out gas lines for conversion. So long history. I remember our old RIDGID threading machine we had in the shop, the predecessor to the RIDGID 300. You know, just all of the old cool pipe wrenches. I mean, when I was a kid, there were pipe wrenches that my dad's company had that I couldn't even lift. They were 48 inches long. They were RIDGID, you know, super heavy steel pipe wrenches, you know, and they, some of them had bent handles because they'd put like 2.5-inch pipe on for cheaters, you know, so, you know, it was crazy. So long history. I remember RIDGID always being the professional tool choice, and we've had a pretty unique history. And, you know, it goes way back to the early days of Viega coming to the United States in 1999. Great year, great song. So do you want to tell us a little bit about that partnership and, you know, how that all came to be? And, you know, I don't want to put you on the spot, but.
I mean, so for those of you that don't know, you know, RIDGID actually started in 1923, you know, manufacturing, you know, these iconic wrenches. And, you know, and then in the 60s, we came out with the aluminum wrenches. So this has actually been sort of our start, you know. And then as you mentioned, you know, we've got the 300 that we developed back in 59. And, you know, if you bought this thing back in the 60s, you're probably still using it because, you know, that's how we do things. So, you know, RIDGID just has a rich history in plumbing and mechanical trades. So it's you know, it was really good to partner with Viega. I'm sure back in the 80s in Europe, there's a company called Von Arx that RIDGID purchased. and that was the original press tools. And I think Bo's going to show you, one of the old press tools that we started a long time ago making. And then we brought it to the United States in 1999 with RIDGID. And, as RIDGID Viega, or Viega RIDGID, if you will. And, until Viega established, their place as #1 in fittings, we co-marketed these tools and fittings and jaws together. And we've continued to do so for many, many years now.
Yeah, Mitch, when it comes to the tooling alignment, the way that we work together, we often say that the rings and the jaws were developed together, as well as like the pivoting ring sets and so forth. Can you just explain what that looks like? I mean, how we align our technology with regard to the tooling and the jaws and the rings, so that the fittings and everything, perform as expected, as well as the tools.
Yeah, as Viega is manufacturing, their ring sets, whether that's copper or pack or steel, all the applications, we're going to share designs and files, and then we're going to design our jaws and rings around those fittings, and of course test our tools. And we both have facilities that test, both the fittings and the jaws and the tools at the same time, so that we can ensure that when you use our jaws and the Viega fittings together, you're going to get the ultimate connection every time. So yeah, rich history there, and sort of sharing engineering and testing resources, and spending a lot of time making sure that it's exact and right.
So Mitch, do you have a little historical insight onto how this all came to be? When we produced and pioneered press technology in Germany in '89, and then 10 years later we show up on our shores over here. And at the time, Viega Germany wasn't so sure that the United States was ready, or North America was ready for press technology. They were a little uncertain that the market would accept it. But regardless, Viega Germany, they're such a great company. They backed us and they said, hey, we're gonna go with this anyway. Maybe you could talk about how that history came about, and I'm going to go over and get my historical tool.
Right. Well, yeah, like I said, the relationship started with Viega and Von Arx over in Europe. Von Arx is a company that was in Switzerland, and so we ended up partnering and ultimately purchasing Von Arx, and that plant remains in Switzerland. And then, of course, we've got some other facilities around the world, but long, rich history of design tools and jaws and fittings all to work together. So I'm just looking to see if you're bringing out the
yeah, I'm walking over. I'm just heading your way. I dropped out of camera, but I'm here. I got a whole workshop at my disposal. I just, it was a rookie mistake. I didn't have my tools ready for the job.
That's all right. That's all right.
There it is, the CT400.
Continue that. Pardon?
The old CT400. There it is. Yep. And this thing presses fast. I mean, when you squeeze the trigger on this, that's it. You're done. I know that was probably a racket for everybody listening in, but this baby, I got a couple of these kicking around, and these things will last forever. They'll be around long after we're gone, and there's nothing less but cockroaches, plastic bottles, and CT400s. That's what's going to be left on this planet.
I love this stuff, right? Well, that's exactly what we try to do is make sure that our tools are going to be durable. I mean, they get used and abused, and trades guys, that's what they expect. They want them to be durable and to last a long time, and that's what RIDGID stands for.
Absolutely. It's interesting, that particular tool, at least here in Colorado, and you're in Ohio right now?
Yeah. Yep. Sunny Ohio.
So, okay, awesome. So, a lot of the fab shops here, for some of the more established companies that have been around a long time, that have been using press since the beginning, you go into their fab shops and they have these CT400s rigged up on gantries with pulley systems and cables, so that they can just grab the tool and make their presses, but right there in their fab shops, and they're just running forever. They just plug them in and go. So kind of cool to still see those things in use. It's just kind of a testament to the quality this partnership for sure, without a doubt. So you were talking about Von Arcs, you were talking about the jaws and the fittings being engineered together. You know, that must involve some testing and development. So what does that look like? I mean, what does it take to bring, this partnership to market so that, we can be assured that, when a customer or a contractor, installer, plumber, pipe fitter, whatever, presses a fitting, that they get the end result that's desired. I know what we do on our end. I've been to our factories. I've seen what we do, but how does that work with, the technology for development for these tooling systems?
Yeah, so in Illyria in Switzerland and also in Germany, we've got some very high tech machining equipment. So we're going to take raw forgings and we're going to machine those. We're going to make sure that they're exactly to measurement, and then we're going to test them over and over and over again and make tweaks until we get a very good press every time, and that's a repeatable operation. And then we send it over to Attendorn to Germany. And that's the Viega headquarters, and then they do their testing. And then if they see anything that needs to be tweaked, they send it back to us, and we start the process over again until we're absolutely sure that every press is going to be made properly. So that's how you can guarantee your product and how we promote our product as being compatible with the Viega fittings.
Right, absolutely. So talking about jaws and rings, so some of the cool technology, and I love this stuff, and I just want to grab a few goodies that I've got set out here. And we talk about this stuff all the time, but like I don't think we give it enough credence, and I want to shout it out now. But just for example, these ring kits, these ring kits will get you out of a jam every time. And this is the ring kit for 1.5 inches. So this would go into a standard size tool, and you've got a swiveling ring kit here. And this is a really cool partnership to develop something like this. And of course, you've got it for the compact tools, and I absolutely love this. I always want to put it in my pocket, but I'm afraid I'm going to leave with it. But it's so tiny, 1/2-inch ring. And if you think about it, you can use this with the compact C1 actuator. But if you think about it, when you're talking about tight places, difficult places to get to, often it's smaller piping systems when you're in a confined, really, really tight confined space where you probably couldn't solder, right? So this type of tooling system gets you into places that a torch just won't get you without at least burning something or charring something or potentially starting a fire. So, or in some cases, you just can't even strike a flame in that location. So really cool stuff. And, this is really cool technology. But I'm curious what's coming, because we get asked all the time about, like mega press, obviously, 1.25 inches and up, we have a swiveling ring set already that we've developed together, but, you get into the smaller sizes. So it's kind of been asked about here and there.
Yeah, so we did announce back at AHR that we're coming out with a 1-inch jaw for compact mega press, and we'll also be coming out with some rings as well, a 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch mega press rings. So we should see those at the beginning of 2021, and we're really looking forward to getting those out in the market. So it's been a time to develop, but as we talked about, we really want to make sure that when we launch these rings and jaws, they're absolutely perfect. So we should see those at the beginning of 2021. Really, really looking forward to it.
That would be awesome. I know that Troy and I would love to do an episode on that. And just because you mentioned it, early 2021, I'm not going to say when, but my birthday happens to be in February, in case you wanted to send me a birthday present. Early, just saying. I just, nothing big, just wanted to put that out there.
I'll
just a little plug.
My calendar, make sure.
Yeah, I'll send you the exact date offline, just so in case you want to get it there early, or maybe make it a surprise, whatever works for you, Mitch, Just that was a shameless plug, wasn't it? That was shameless right there.
I love it.
Yeah, I'll use it where I can. So
right.
No, it's exciting stuff. It's exciting stuff. So we're going to be seeing some new innovations on swiveling rings for mega press. Obviously, we're still hoping for the 1-inch compact jaw for the compact tools, and I've got a compact tool here. This is the 240. I always get the 241 and the 240 mixed up, and as a matter of fact, I believe we're giving one of these away today. Is that right? Some lucky winner is winning a. Oh, Mitch froze up. Well, anyway, there he is. Yeah. He's back.
Two more days to apply for the Better Together promo.
Okay.
They give away with the 240 and a bunch of fittings, right?
All right. Right. Awesome. And we're going to come back to that for sure, everybody. So we'll explain before we close out today how you can win a 241. But back to this particular tool, you know, the RP210 was probably my favorite tool. That thing is bomb-proof. It's like a battery-powered version of the CT400 in a compact size. You know, just a really, really good tool. But it's kind of big. In fact, I bet if you put a 210 next to the 350, right, they're same size, right? Pretty much the same size platform. And I love what you guys did with the case. And I'm going to actually zoom in on that for the viewers to see the way you guys reconfigured the case. The battery compartments are cooler. There's some other really cool features in there too we'll get to, because I think it's awesome. I've just got it out of the box today. I've been working from home, so I promise we're going to get a little love time with that 350. I know all my trainers are really excited to use it, so they're all fighting over who gets to use it first, but it's in my hands right now, so it'll be me. But
this a ribbon on it, right?
Yeah, well, no, I already took the ribbon off. Yeah. Okay. I already took the ribbon off. I'm saving it for our Christmas episode of Tech Talk Live. So our holiday episode. So this 241, it's funny. It's got a funny little sound. It kind of makes like a chirping sound. You know, I call it little bird. But this is a really cool tool. It's super compact, and the way it's been designed, it kind of positions the weight of the tool directly, you know, over your fist. So it's just really balanced and cool. But the more I use the inline tools, and I was not a big fan of inline tools, but the more I use this particular tool, the more I like it. I like that I can actuate the jaw with my thumb. I like where the actuator button is. I mean, it's just a really cool tool. So anymore, I'm torn between these two, but they're awesome tools. You know, press up to 1 1/4 copper, soon up to 1 inch, you know, carbon steel or black iron pipe, but obviously we can do 1/2 inch and 3/4. I've got the 3/4 mega press jaw on this guy. So really awesome tooling platforms, and really excited that there's going to be some new cool stuff coming for those. So there's another cool tool over here that I got to talk about, if you don't mind. I kind of want to break it out.
To talk about it. It's killing me.
Which one now? Are we talking about the one you just sent me, or the other one?
Or the 342, either one.
Okay. I want to save the 350 for a minute because it's so cool. All right. So this bad boy, the 342 XL. Tell me about this tool, because you were out here showing me the prototype of this way back. And I appreciate it because you listened when you came out here. So talk about, you know, collaboration. You asked our trainers, you asked guys that, you know, have been in the field for a long time, 35 years for myself. I mean, our combined experience here with Troy and everyone else is amazing. And you listened. And this is fantastic execution on this tool. So tell me about how we got to this and how it works. I'll let you take the stage. I'm just going to stand here and cradle it like my favorite new tool.
Yeah, so this is the 342 XL, and the 342 XL is actually built on our 340 chassis. So if you recall the old 340 chassis, you know, which you're probably still using up till today, this tool is built on that chassis. It does have a longer barrel on it, so that it can you know, be used with the Z3 actuator, which you guys just came out with. And then of course, you know, our XL rings. So one trigger pull, 9 seconds, complete a Mega Press XL fitting press, and you're off to the races. This tool can also be quickly switched from, you know, the long barrel, extended barrel version to a standard barrel. And I can use it with all my other RIDGID, you know, jaws, rings, and accessories like the press snap and, you know, the new strut slayer, etc. So, you know, we are very excited about this very versatile tool, and you know, so far it's gotten great receptions out in the marketplace. So, thank you.
Yeah, no, this is a fantastic tool, and I've got the Z3 actuator, which, by the way, hangs on the tri-stand beautifully. So I don't know if you planned that, but it's kind of cool that it just sits on there so nicely. And there we
Nice.
go. And, you know, of course, the swiveling barrel is really nice to have. So fantastic tool platform, really easy to wield the tool. You know, I like the way that the long handle really gets you a good grip on it so you can maneuver the tool. The swiveling barrel is nice because you guys added some friction to that. So it's got a little bit of stability. I remember the initial ones were a little soft, and this is really good because it's got some friction to it. So very stable tooling system. So really cool stuff. Love it.
I'm glad you like it. I mean, we appreciate your feedback. I mean, that's really what the partnership's all about, right? We're out in Denver at your training center, and we got to, you know, spend some time, you know, making some presses and talking about weight distribution and, you know, how well this is going to work with, you know, with the people. So we're really excited to have it out in the market now.
So interesting thing about this new tooling platform, and so literally I unboxed the 350, and I promise everybody I'm going to get the 350 out here in a second, let Mitch have he's very excited. That's why I'm holding him back a little bit. He's super excited. I'm just trying to calm him down. You know, we're going to get to it. We got time. But so the new battery platform is fantastic with the onboard charge indicator where we can see the lights there. And I threw the 350 batteries, which came at about 50%, and they were charged lightning fast. I mean, I couldn't believe. So did something change in either the charger or the battery platform? Because they charged up really quickly. And I realized that we were going from 50%, but even the ones that I had that were 25 charged very quickly. So I noticed a really fast turnaround on the battery platform.
Yeah, you know, nothing, you know, specifically on the charging, but they do charge very quickly. You know, obviously we're getting 20% more life out of them. We added some other features to them besides just the indicator on there. You know, we've got a car charger that is on there, so you can actually charge your batteries in the car. So we did you know, add some nice features to those batteries, but good reception out of those as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I pressed a job last weekend for a friend, I repiped his boiler, and I was using the new battery platform. And I counted, I made 185 presses in over a 2-day period as I was fitting everything up on one battery, and I never put it on the charger. 185. Now that was my experience, and that was 1.25 inches and down. So the largest pipe on that system was 1.25 inches, but there was a lot for the primary and secondary piping of the boiler, and then I had 1 3/4 inches, plus I had 1 inch on the indirect, and it was a dual coil, so a lot of fittings there. And 185 presses on one battery, and I didn't even have to charge it. So definitely getting longer life out of it. And people always ask, well, how many presses can you get out of a charge? It depends, right? That's a perfect answer for everything, is it depends, because if you're doing 4-inch, obviously you're going to get less. And if you're doing 1/2 inch, you're going to get a lot more. But noticeable difference in the battery, I was really quite impressed. And what a difference from the old NiCad and NIM batteries we had back in the day. That's like so old school. You know, I feel like these tools are run by a Tesla now. So can I say that? Am I allowed to say that?
Well, you know, we really think you can get over 300 presses on, you know, 3/4 inch copper on these batteries. So they are working very well. Yeah.
Well, you know, it's funny. I never checked the battery, but after I did my 185, I just happened to be keeping count, and I should have checked to see what the fuel level is, and I still have the battery sitting over there in the tool bag, so I should check and see what level it's at, because 300 to me, based on my experience, does not seem unreasonable for 3/4 inch, which is, that's a lot.
Or presses left, right?
Yeah, yeah. So it probably makes this next really cool feature somewhat obsolete, but I don't want to say that, but I think this is one of the coolest things that I've seen is the 12-volt adapter for the charger. I think that's fantastic. I think it's a great thing. And as we all know, and maybe you could talk about this, you know, rigid tools, press technology in general, because it's a hydraulic press tool and so forth, and it's a battery platform, there's a limitation to how cold. And for those of you that are, say, in the Northeast or up in Canada where it gets really cold, or even here in Colorado up in the mountains, you know, you don't want to leave your press tools in the work van or in your truck or on the job site in a job box overnight where they're going to be exposed to cold temperatures, because if you got to press first thing in the morning, you got to warm up the tool a little bit. So, so this is really nice because you could, you know, bring your batteries and your charger into the house overnight, just throw them in a tool bag, and then have them charged by the time you get to the job. But maybe you could talk about some of the limitations of the tooling with regard to temperature, both high and low, because we have customers in Vegas, for example, where, you know, on a roof it might be 120 degrees, and then there's some issues there as well. So.
Right. Yeah. Well, you know, and we've made some improvements, you know, with the RP350 actually, as far as, you know, the high and low temperature operations. But there are always limits. I mean, if you're in an extremely cold climate, yeah, you do want to heat up your tool and make sure everything is fine. But lots of improvements on, you know, on hydraulics and batteries. So you should see some extended life out of those and get some higher and lower temperature capabilities.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know, we got some great comments. I just happened to be scrolling through as you're explaining, you know, the limitations of the battery and the tool with regard to temperature. And people are saying, you know, I can't do what I do without this brand. And somebody said from Philly, Cheese Philly. So, you know, my stomping ground right over the bridge in Paulsboro, New Jersey is where I'm from. So I just got to give a shout out to Philly in the house. Our CEO is from Philly. He said, RIDGID is all I use. So I love it. You know, it's really cool stuff. And we got some people from Germany saying greetings from Germany. Axie from Germany is saying hello. So I don't know if that's someone you know, not someone I know, but thrilled that we're crossing the Atlantic here. That's really cool. So, yep, we got blue collar biceps. We got a lot of fun people on board. So I'm going to stop torturing you, Mitch. I'm gonna get it.
You, so I can't see him. Yeah.
So here it is, the 350. This thing is stupid light. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I've got the battery in it. I just got to put a standard. So, you know, I'll put the, I haven't even figured out how to use the pin yet. I'll put the V2 actuator in it because it's pretty heavy. You know, it's close to the weight of a you know, 1.5 or 2-inch press jaw. So super balanced. I mean, it balances like the 241 or the 240. It's amazing. I mean, this thing is really cool. So tell me what this thing can do, because I haven't even turned it on yet.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'll just comment on the balance real quickly. We did make some movements in the handle here that you know, allow the tool to be much more balanced in your hand, you know, especially when you've got a heavy jaw on there and it's got a very good feel. So it is a little bit lighter. It's a little bit smaller, as we talked about. You know, when you put up this 240 next to it, you can see really, you know, we're closing that gap on the compacts and the standard tool line. You know, some really you know, unique features on this. This is the only tool. It's got 360-degree swivel on the head, so there is no stopping point on here. You get into a location where, you know, sometimes you've got to release the jaw, reposition so that your back just completely swivels. So you'll never have to really stop. You can continue to swivel and get in those tight spots. You know, obviously you're going to use your ring set when you're in extremely tight spots, but this has a nice swivel on it. We did put a brushless motor in here, but you know, really probably the cool thing that we did, Bo, is we made some advancements to the hydraulics. So this tool is going to press, you know, you're going to get 100,000 presses out of this or more, and there is no scheduled service. So, you know, the days of having scheduled service, you know, the tool shuts down, you send it back, etc., that's kind of gone. You know, obviously, if you got a problem, you know, it needs service, lights are going to come on. It's going to tell you the tool needs service, you know, if something fails. But for the most part, we expect this to be an extremely durable tool. And again, a lot of testing, 2 million tests, you know, crimps were made with this tool. We burned up 350, you know, units just to get this right. So I'm very confident in this tool, and I'm excited to have it out on the market. You know, a few other, you know, little things. Again, this is Bluetooth compatible, like our 240 and 241. You know, the 340 was not Bluetooth compatible, so you can log in here with your phone, check number of presses, you know, last used location, etc. So a lot of great advancements in the RP350, and we're really glad to get it out on the market.
So couple things that I noticed about this tool, Mitch, and this is really cool, and I have a couple questions for you. So one of the, oh, by the way, Troy happened to say that his birthday is also in February.
Hey, he should have got his present already too.
He's supposed to be he's not even supposed to be working today. I don't know what he's doing. No, I knew he was going to be here, and yeah, he did chime in. So So one thing that I noticed that I think is really cool that I want to point out, and anyone who's had to work with press in tight locations, I don't know if you can see that against, the profile of my fat head, but you guys have redesigned that pin. And
Yes.
I tell people this all the time when we come to training, if you have to press close to a floor and you've got the tool laying on its side and you're close to the floor and you've got your jaw, you have a certain distance. Troy probably knows it off the top of his head. I'd have to guess at it, but you've got a certain distance that you can get close to a flat surface, like if you were pressing a riser coming out of a floor or something like that, or tight to a framing member or something like that. And one thing I've told people is, be careful, don't have your hand between the tool and that flat surface when you press, because the tool will align itself on the fitting, and it's a heck of a lot of force. This is a 32 kilonewton tool, so that's a heck of a lot of pound force converted to, it's at 7,200 pound force on that fitting all at once. So when that tool aligns itself, it'll squeeze your hand between the floor and the tool, and it's not fun. But I noticed that pin, your limitation to how close you can get to a fitting is obviously, whatever obstacles, site conditions you're running into, and then the profile of the tool. And you guys lined up that pin with the plane of the side of the tool. And I think that was a really slick, that's some really intelligent engineering right there. Somebody listened and thought it through, because the old pin used to stick out quite a bit. And it does even on the 342, although with the 342, you're using bigger stuff, you probably have the clearance. And you've got swiveling rings, but really nice that that's so close. Why do I care about a brushless motor? Can you explain why is that important?
Yeah, so I mean, brushless motors aren't unique to tools or press tools, but they just have a longer life, right? They don't need to be rebuilt or replaced. They just have a lot more durability than a brushed motor. So that's why we made sure we used a brushless motor in here. And then again, once we were getting such great performance with that brushless motor, we improved the hydraulics, and we just kind of kept snowballing from there until we reached 100,000 cycles or more. So and it does give you power efficiency as well. You'll notice, when you start pressing with this, Bo, it's definitely much more powerful, more efficient than even the 340 was, and it's faster. And I still love the sound. I'll go ahead and run a cycle if you don't mind.
Please do. Wow, that's fast.
That's
beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. That's a nice, clean press sound. You can still feather this tool, right? So we can advance the ram, and it'll stop mid-stroke.
Correct. Now, there's also a control mode on if you choose to use it. So you can go into your app, set it on control mode, and what that will allow you to do is advance the rollers out till it hits the jaw, and then you can make sure you're aligned on the fitting, and then pull a second time, and you're good.
That's amazing. And that's something that Troy and I train on all the time. All the trainers train on is, you don't have to just squeeze the trigger and make the press and hope for the best. That's not really how it works. You can kind of feather the trigger and align things, especially if you're working, you've got multiple joints that are unpressed, you're starting to press up an assembly, you're working overhead, you can kind of position yourself, which is really kind of a nice, added bonus or benefit of the tools. It gives you really good ergonomics in the field. So I love that. And I love that you can actually control it a little bit further, because we're kind of techie and we like that stuff. So that's pretty exciting. I did notice that the ram stops. I'm making noise here, but I do love the sound of the tool. It's kind of high tech. So I like it. It's like the space age version. Right? Yeah, absolutely. And the ram release works beautifully. Yeah. So really nice. My fingers working hard to push that ram release in. There we go. So good stuff. Yeah, really cool. So some other tools available to connect to the 350 or any of the other standard size tools, like the pipe snap. That's been around for quite a long time. Really cool for, cutting cast iron soil pipe. But tell us about the strut slayer, because I think that's a really cool tool that everybody could use every day. If you're doing any kind of piping systems, Unistrut is, ubiquitous in the field. Oh, there we go.
We launched this, last year. These are out in the field now, but this is the strut slayer. Basically gives you with the use of our standard tool, gives you a burr-free cut, no dust, limited amount of spark on this in 5 seconds. So no hassle. I'm going to run this. And you've got that clean cut right there. Now, if you noticed, somebody was in the background actually switched the gun to control mode. So that was actually what you saw there when it stopped. So it went out till the rollers engaged with the strut slayer. I pulled a second time and it completed the cut. But that's the strut slayer. Been an awesome addition to the line. We continue to work on expanding our platforms and making sure that, if you're going to invest in a rigid tool, you can get lots of great things out of it. So you can press PEX and copper and steel. You can also, cut soil pipe. Now you can cut strut, and I'm sure there'll be some more things coming out soon.
Wow, that is really cool. Mitch, I know Troy's thinking this right now. We use a ton of strut here in the seminar center. Like we move it around all the time, and we have to file it, and we cut it with our RIDGID 614 dry cut saw, which is a really nice tool. But man, wow. Yeah. Just saying, the chips that come off of the 614 really ruin a golf shirt, and occasionally we've been known to wear those. So, anyway, just saying, just throwing it out there.
Hey, notice I didn't wear a golf shirt today, right? This was for you.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
I had the suit and tie on earlier today. I took it off.
Yeah, no suits, no ties here. It's it's casual. This is casual conversation. Yeah. So I got to give a shout out to Fearless 5280, my boy Justin, awesome refrigeration fitter, awesome hydronics guy. And he's saying that press guns are like fishing poles. He's an avid fisherman. So he's like, you can never have enough. And so I think that RIDGID is, doing a good job of making sure that you have new press tools to get, to add to your collection of, going fishing or going pressing. We got you covered. So really cool stuff. So Mitch, we're coming up on, we got about 20 minutes left. We got plenty of time, but just what do you guys see? I mean, on a more serious note from the corporate level, and obviously, like any other business, we're in business to make money. We're in business to better our market that we're playing in, but we're in business to make money. And also we're in business to grow and expand our businesses so that more people are using our products. And what do you think some of the barriers to entry for press technology are? I mean, what do you guys view that as?
That's an interesting question, because, as we opened with, the European market really has about 80% adoption as far as the number of, or the percentage of press fittings used as opposed to soldering or sweating, brazing, whatever you want to call it. So, and in the U.S. market, we've probably got about a 20% adoption if you compare the two, and it continues to grow, faster. But I think some of those barriers, obviously are cost, whether that be the tool or the fitting. There's maybe a lack of understanding out there as to the benefits of pressing. Maybe a little bit of trust as to whether that connection is going to be solid or not. And I will tell you, well, you can actually talk more to the connection side than me, but I'll tell you from a tool standpoint and from a time saving standpoint, it's all about, not only us making money, but, our end users, the tradesmen making money, right? So, if you're a service plumber and you can get, 1 or 2 or 3 more jobs done a day because this connection takes you less than 5 seconds as opposed to 5 minutes or 45 minutes, depending on the size of pipe you're doing, you're saving money, you're making money. Same way on the contractor side, right? If you're looking at a big job, half the expense of a big job for any of these MEP contractors is going to be labor. So you get a tremendous labor savings out of pressing. And that's really kind of the value that we're adding to the trades is that time savings. Obviously, you got a savings in safety or increased safety because we don't need burn permits. You don't spend all your time wetting down a rafter because you're afraid it's going to catch on fire. But a lot of great stuff out there that I think if we continue to sort of preach the gospel here on pressing, we can overcome and kind of show the trades where it's at.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, a lot of people are commenting on this now, and that's really cool that people are engaging. Someone did ask to see the struts layer again, so you might as well show it because I think it's a really cool innovation. I think you guys really knocked it out of the park on that one. But really good point. Yeah, that's we encounter the same thing with barriers to entry, and a lot of people think maybe it's taking the skill out of the trades or they worry about the cost of the tool, but then there's that huge offset in that time savings and that labor savings. You're doing more work in less time. I always tell our customers, I'm like, if it gets you home to your kid's soccer game, you win, right? I mean, we all know being in the trades, work long days, long hours, weekends, all the time. 12-hour days are not, that's like the norm, not uncommon. It's the norm. So, it gets you home faster. That's worth something right there. So I think that's one of the things. You look at Europe, right? What's the market share in Europe on press technology? You have so many different brands and other tooling manufacturers and so forth. It's probably pushing 80, 90%. And here we're just a tiny little percentage. So long road to hoe to get where we need to go with press technology here. And so people just need to try it out, I guess. And they can do that, right? They can get with their local RIDGID rep, borrow a tool. They can get with their Viega district manager or whatever factory salespeople we have in the field and borrow tools and get some fittings and try it out. So we're certainly opening up. We're making it easy. RIDGID and Viega are making it easy for people to at least try it. So I just want to get a struts layer is all I want right now. I just really want one bad.
Yeah, and a lot of our reps are out together in the field, right? So they're on job sites constantly. So I encourage anybody that hasn't tried it to, borrow a tool, borrow some fittings, try it out, get to understand the benefits of pressing, because it is a time saver. It's a back saver, you name it. So now I'll run this again if we're ready.
Yeah. That's amazing. Can you hold that end up close to the camera and let it focus in? Wow, that's impressive. That's really impressive. I love it. I love it. Just another cool technology. Press technology is not really new. It's been around a long time. I mean, we certainly didn't invent it. It's been around even before we pioneered it in Germany. But what's really cool is the tooling technology has been around a long time. Anyone that's ever driven by high power transmission lines, right? Or utility lines, a lot of that cabling is crimped with special crimping tools, and they're very similar or nearly identical to a press tool, different jaws, different, fitting system, but, takes a lot of force if you've got a high tension cable to crimp those things together. So this is not new technology and the innovation that comes out of it. So I'm going to blow it up here for you. I used to live on 3 acres in Golden, and I had tons of scrub growth I had to trim because of forest fires because we lived in the mountains. And I really wish there was like a lopper attachment, to cut limbs. So there you go.
There you
Just
go.
saying.
That's our next thing is going to be a limb lopper.
There you go. I'll make sure it's by my birthday or Christmas or, something like that, 4th of July, whatever. Just, love to have one. So just chucking that out there. So
we'll work with a prototype shop and send it out to you.
There you go, man. We want one. Keep your fingers out of it. Keep your fingers out of any of these things, by the way. So read your instruction manual. That little guy was showing his fingers falling off in the manual. That's like the real deal. So keep your fingers out. Just saying. Yep. So Mitch, we got to talk about the tool giveaway. I mean, what are we doing? Tell me about this. How's this going to work?
Yeah, it sounds like we've got 2 more days to register. Winner drawing, I think, is going to be in after that 2 days is up. So yeah, basically we'll be giving away a 241. So this guy right here, along with a bunch of Viega fittings. So if you haven't registered, it's the Better Together contest. But you can do it via Instagram. So if you're on there, make sure you register.
Link right there.
Love giving stuff away.
Absolutely. So yeah, someone's going to love it. Someone's going to love it. They're going to either they're going to already be somebody who's using press and they'll be like, sweet, I got another tool, or it's going to be somebody that hasn't pressed before and now they got no reason not to give it a shot. So pretty cool stuff. So cool. Any other new stuff coming? Any other things you wanted to talk about, Mitch? Anything you wanted to cover?
Nothing I can give away at this moment. You know, we always got stuff in the hopper though, but nothing at this point. You know, I would say in the next you know, few months we'll probably be making an announcement on another development, but we're not ready for that yet.
All right, top secret. I like it. I like keep the carrot dangling there. That's good stuff. I love it. I love it. Awesome, awesome, good stuff. So, well, listen, I think that about covers it. Unless there's something out there that somebody wants to see, you know, which please, you know, throw your comments in if there's something you guys want to see. But I think this has been really cool. I think it's been really fun for you know, customers to come out and see what's going on. You know, see what's coming, see what's happening now in press, you know, see the new tool technology. Again, I cannot thank you enough for this. This is really awesome. This is just really something special here. This is really an amazing tool. They've always been amazing tools, even the CT400 and the old, you know, the old, oh my gosh, I can't even remember what was the predecessor to the 340, 330, RP330,
330,
which yeah, that was my first press tool. You know, when I started pressing in 2007 and never looked back. I'm like, why did I wait so long to move to this technology? Like, what was I thinking, you know? So, you know, really amazing. But that was kind of a big, heavy tool, you know, and it was great. Battery platform, it worked great, but it was just big. And you guys just keep shrinking it down. You're classic engineering, make it smaller. So, you know.
Make it light, make it better.
Yep, better, faster, lighter, smaller. Yep. When the pocket version comes out, let me know. You know, pocket press, whatever. That space press. When space press comes out, I'm sure NASA wants to know. You know, so you know, I'm sure you guys will be first. So very cool stuff. We'll be there together. So awesome. So
hey,
well, listen.
Awesome spending time with you today. Thanks, Bo.
Yeah, it was great. We really appreciate Rigid showing up and Mitch. And I see you had a camera operator. That's kind of high tech. We're a little jealous, you know, we just, you know, we're doing this on a tripod. So I'm a little impressed there. Very cool. I love what you guys got going on in the background.
Right.
Yep. Love to get out there and see that. That's kind of cool. There's probably a lot of stuff out there that Troy and I would love to get our hands on. So, so yeah, a lot of really cool stuff, a lot of great comments. Everybody really enjoyed this episode. So that's cool. So if you guys, what's that?
I said, come out here on your birthday. We'll let you play with everything. Go over to the school. I've been there before. You can play with the stuff. It'd be awesome.
All right. I like it. Birthday trip. Maybe I can expense that. I don't think so. So really appreciate it. Where can people learn more about Rigid?
RIDGID.com.
There you go. RIDGID.com. Viega.us for us. If you have any suggestions for upcoming Tech Talk episodes, things you'd like to see with Rigid tools or Viega press fittings or any other technology that we use here, you know, all of our press technology, certain piping systems, whatever it is, you can hit us up at techtalk@viega.us. Definitely follow us at Viega LLC, at Rigid Tools, right? Or is it at, what's your Instagram handle?
At Rigid Tools, yes.
That's right. Okay, at Rigid Tools. I don't want to screw that up. So follow Rigid. I follow you guys. I love it on my own personal account. Love seeing all the cool stuff. So definitely follow us. Check out the Viega Rewards program. Definitely click that link below to register to win the 241 and some cool fittings from Viega, which is a really cool giveaway. And with that, I got nothing else, man. You guys are the stars. So we really, really appreciate you coming and joining us today. This was very, very cool. And it's been a fun partnership for sure.
You bet. Absolutely. Long time to go here yet.
Yep. Yeah, we got a long road. So for sure, it's going to be a long road. So a lot of people to get into press technology. So good stuff. All right. So that's it, everybody, for our episode today. Thanks again to Mitch Barton and Ridge Tool Company. Really appreciate having you guys. It's been really cool. It's always good to see you, Mitch. Keep in touch. I'll let you know when my birthday is. I'll let you know when Troy's birthday is. Hint, hint, nod, nod, wink, wink. So until then, we'll see you all on our next episode of Tech Talk Live coming up in December. Look for the teaser videos coming from Troy and I, and it'll be our holiday episode before we close out for the year. Everybody stay safe, stay cool out there, and we'll see you again soon on Tech Talk Live. See you, everybody.